Why I don't like single family investing. I'm Tim Diaz, I'm a commercial real estate consultant, and today I want to talk to you about a question I received about why I don't like single family housing as an investment. So I'll tell you the story. When I first, and some of you know this if you've read my book, when I first got started, I started like everybody else, most people, in residential, right? I was buying houses and I went on and on and on and on. Well, I bought a house, I rented it, and I thought it was a great idea, so I did another one. And then I did another one. Eventually, I got to about 38 houses. Now, along the way, after about 10 houses or so, it's very difficult to get a loan. Banks don't like it. So I had to get very creative and figure out all kinds of cool stuff. Growth is difficult with single family. You'll hear stories about people telling you, oh, we bought this and we bought that and we have a house here and a second home. Guys, those guys aren't making real money off their rentals. They're just not. Because even if you own the house outright and you're renting it for $5,000 or $6,000 a month, you can still make a lot more in commercial real estate off owning one property. So you have that one property. My biggest problem was logistics, right? You have property all over the place. So you're gonna have multiple managers, you're gonna have multiple people you're dealing with. But the biggest thing was scaling. The growth is very, very difficult. Now, I'm not trying to put down anybody, trying to tell you, go out there, buy a single family home, get good financing, hedge against inflation, all that fun stuff. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is if you're trying to grow massively, it's very hard to do it with condos and homes, and you're just not gonna get there fast enough. Because even if you buy $1 million property, there's only so much you can rent it for. So people that are saying, oh, I'm going to get great financing and I'm going to buy a single family home, who's going to help you pay down that debt? The one renter? Or if it's a duplex, maybe the two? And if they're not there, you have a real problem. It's a very difficult way to get ahead. So I give you strategies sometimes that will help a 3 or a 4 unit property because you can take advantage of residential financing. It's totally different. When I say start small, I really mean try to start with 4 units. But if a duplex is all you can get your hands on, then hey, that's fine. Even a duplex is going to give you a lot more advantages than a single family home. The more units you can get, the better. That's really the biggest thing. The difficult place to be really in commercial is about 5 or 6 units, because you're barely getting into the commercial financing world and you need to get to as many units as possible. So the farther away or the further away you can get from the 5 units, the better I have found. And if you're getting 4 units, that's pretty good too, because they can use the rental income to help you kind of get better financing or maybe better DTI, maybe not better financing. I don't know if you're going to get better rates or anything if your credit is not the best. That's just the way that is. So the other thing is, if you have a house that you're renting out, and let's say you're getting $3,000 a month for this house and it's in great condition, the issue you're going to have is no matter what happens, an appraiser is going to use what the comps are in the area, what the comparable sales are. That's just the way it is. Anything comparable has to be, it only can be a mile away. Like you can't really do much with it. So there's not very much upside there. Unless your neighbor happens to sell their house for twice as much, maybe you've had it for a long time. The way to make money in real estate is appreciation. It really is. So you are going to make appreciation on a single family home. It just takes longer. See, there is no value add component that's the same exact way as commercial. So if you're buying a commercial building, you can really force the appreciation through the tenants, not so much the cosmetic. Sometimes the cosmetic feel, the vibe of the property. Sure, that'll bring the tenants in, but it's the leases, it's the units. Can we raise the rents? You only can raise the rents so much on a single family home. Maybe you could double it, or whatever it could be. But when you have a building, you have all these people, you have to raise it a little bit. And if you have a longer term lease, even on a long term lease, if you have square footage, you don't need to go astronomical on this thing. You can just go a little bit. Look at, if you're trying to start out and you just want to get your foot in the door and single family home is all you can get, do it by all means. I'm not saying don't do it at all. What I'm saying is, if you are going to get bigger, down the road, you could have 20 houses and they could be worth $1 million, whatever. You're gonna run into a problem. You're gonna run into a challenge just trying to get up there in your growth and your net worth and everything else. So I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any more questions, definitely let me know. I'd love to answer them. All right, thank you.